aesthetic materials. So the main advantage of for the ceramic material is excellent aesthetics. So the high strength ceramic. So nowadays the new ceramic materials are available having more strength in it. Okay. So we will discuss the materials. So basically, there are two approaches to strengthen the ceramic material. So the main disadvantage for the ceramic material having like low strength. The ceramic material is brittle material. It will break easily. Okay. And the main advantage for the ceramic material, it's high excellent aesthetic. And disadvantage is low strength. So there are new ceramic materials available in the market having high strength, but we can also increase the strength of the ceramic material. So there are two approaches to strength the ceramic material. Like high strength but non-aesthetic ceramic core material is veneered with a lower strength aesthetic porcelain. This approach similar to the metal ceramic technique. So the other approach is the development of ceramic that combines good aesthetic with high strength. This has the obvious attraction of not needing the additional thickness of material to mask the high strength core. So So at present, the strongest dental ceramic are non-aesthetic and non-core materials. So the ceramic which are present nowadays ha- have high strength, but they are non-aesthetic. So how can we increase the strength of the ceramic material? So we'll discuss. So first of all, basically there are two defects which are present in the ceramic material, like fabrication defects and surface cracks. So they are susceptible to fracture at the time of placement and during function. So the brittle material such as ceramic contains at least two types of flaws, like fabrication defects and surface cracks. So what is fabrication defect? Basically the fabrication defects are created during processing and consisting of voids, inclusions generated during sintering, condensation of a ceramic slurry by hand before sintering may introduce porosity. So porosity on the internal side of the clinical failed glass ceramic restoration have been shown to continue a fracture initiation site. So basically fabrication defect will present during the processing. When we process the ceramic material in the machine like sintering, then these defects are developed in the material, or they can cause the brittleness of the material. So if the fabrication defects present in the material, it will break easily. So other problem in the ceramic is the surface cracks. So how surface cracks are initiated? Like surface cracks are introduced during machining or grinding. For example, when we made a crown for the material, then when we are finishing with the birds, the ceramic crown, so these surface cracks will develop on the surface of the ceramic material, so it can break easily. So these are the two important defects which are present in the ceramic material, which can cause it more brittle to fracture, like fabrication defects and the surface cracks. So now comes the strengthening mechanism of the dental ceramic. So how can we increase the strength of the ceramic material? So there are different methods by which we are increasing the strength of the ceramic material. Like number one, crystalline reinforcement. So like strengthening by crystalline reinforcement involves the introduction of a high proportion of crystalline phase into the ceramic material to improve the resistance to crack propagation. So this is one of the method by which we increase the strength of the ceramic material. Like in this method in crystalline reinforcement, it it involves the introduction of proportion of the crystalline phase. We enter in the high proportion of the crystalline phase into the ceramic material. So by this thing, its strength will be improved. So what is the other method? Other method to increase the strength of the ceramic material is the chemical strengthening. So like chemical strengthening relies on the exchange of small alkali ions for a larger ions. So when the small alkali ions for the larger ions, when they exchange below the strain point of ceramic material, This exchange leads to creation of compressive layer at the surface of ceramic material. So it will provide strength to this material. Okay, so in chemical strengthening, basically there is an exchange of small alkali ions for the larger ions below the strain point of ceramic material. So this exchange leads to a creation of compressive layer on the surface of the ceramic material, and this compressive layer will provide strength to the ceramic material. So finally, any applied load must first overcome this built-in compressive layer before surface can be placed into the tension. So these are the two methods, like crystalline reinforcement and chemical strengthening. In crystalline reinforcement, I'm repeating it again, like in crystalline reinforcement, we will introduce a high proportion of crystalline phase into the ceramic material, which will provide strength. In chemical strengthening, what will happen? There is an exchange of small alkali molecules with a larger ions below the strain point of ceramic material. So by this exchange leads a creation of compressive layer on the surface of the ceramic material. So this compressive layer will provide strength to the ceramic material. So what is the third method to increase the strength of the ceramic material is glazing. So what is glazing? The addition of a surface glaze can also be used to strengthen ceramic. With contemporary dental ceramic, self glazing is the standard technique. So it consists of an additional firing in the air after the original firing without application of a low expansion glaze. So by this method, we can increase the strength of the ceramic material. So now this is the fourth method by which we will increase the strength of the ceramic material is prevention of stress corrosion. So the strength of ceramic is reduced in the moist environment. If the environment is the moist, if we make a crown in the moist environment, so the ceramic will having low strength. So the strength of ceramic is reduced in moist environment, and this weakening is caused by a chemical reaction between water and the ceramic at a tip of strength controlling crack and resulting in increase in crack size, and this phenomena is called stress corrosion or static fatigue. So basically we have to avoid this stress corrosion or static field. Okay, basically in this stress corrosion, in this when the water is present and we make a crown ceramic material, then there will be a reaction between the strength chlorine tag and resulting in increased crack size. So it will decrease the strength of the ceramic material. So how we will increase the strength? We will increase the strength by avoiding the stress corrosion or static fatigue. So now the fifth method by which we will increase the strength of the ceramic material is the stress induced transformation. So basically in this method there is a change of phase of zirconia. Like stress can trigger the transformation from tetragonal to monoclinic zirconia, and thereby leading to a strengthening as a result of an increase in grain volume in the vicinity of the crack tip. So basically in this method, we will transform the tetragonal form into the monoclinic form, and by this method the strength of the ceramic material will be increased. So these are the five methods by which we will increase the strength of the ceramic material. So now comes, there are certain systems available which we will like we will follow to make a crown. So there are like 6 to 8 systems available for all ceramic, or 6 to 8 materials available that are called all ceramic system. So we will discuss. First of all, the aluminous core ceramic. This is the oldest system, like composed of the aluminum oxide crystals dispersed in a glassy matrix. So alumina has a high fracture toughness and hardness. So basically in this system, first of all we make a core of the aluminum ceramic material. Okay, over that core then we will apply the porcelain to make a crown. Okay, so it's just like a like similar procedure as of the metal ceramic restoration. So basically in metal ceramic restoration, first of all we make a metal substructure. Over that substructure we will apply the 3 layers of porcelain. So So in this aluminous core ceramic, first of all, we made a aluminous core ceramic material, the first layer, and over that we will apply the three layers of porcelain to complete a crown. So the technique devised by the MacLean involved the use of the opaque inner core containing 50% by weight of alumina for high strength. This core was veneered by a combination of aesthetic body enamel porcelain with 15% and 5% crystalline alumina, respectively, and meshed thermal expansion. The resulting restoration were approximately 40% stronger than those of traditional feldspathic porcelain. So this aluminous core ceramic is 40% much stronger than that of traditional feldspathic porcelain. So now see in these pictures, these are the step-by-step procedure how to make the all ceramic aluminous core porcelain crown. So first of all, we will apply the dye separator. We will apply the aluminum foil over the dye of a prepared tooth, as you see in these picture. When you will apply the platinum foil, aluminum foil over all the dye of the prepared tooth, then you will mix the aluminous core material, okay, aluminous core material, and then we will apply the first layer, as you see in this picture. As you see in this picture, then aluminum core material is mixed with the distilled water and applied on the all surface of the prepared tooth. So by this method, now see in this picture, it is adapted from the labial surface and the lingual surface all around. Then we will send this into the furnace. In the furnace, the heat is produced. That process is called firing. After that firing, this core becomes cured, processed. So over that over that core, this is the aluminous core. Okay, we will apply the three layers of porcelain. It's just like of metal ceramic crown. Okay, now see highly aesthetic crowns, as you see in the first picture, okay, made by this aluminous core ceramic material. Now comes the second system, which is called slip cast ceramic. It is also called InCeram. So slip, that is an aqueous suspension of a fine ceramic particles in water with dispersing agent. The slip is applied onto a porous refractory dye, which absorbs water from the slip and leads to condensation of a slip on the dye. So the piece is then fired, and at high temperature, the refractory dye shrinks more than the condensed slip, which allows easy separation after firing. So in this slip cast ceramic, first of all, again we make a core material which is called a slip. Okay, we cure it in the furnace where we will apply the high temperature, and then when slip is formed, then over it we will apply the three layers of porcelain. So the fired porous core is later glass infiltered, and a unique process is in which molten glass is drawn onto the pores of the capillary action at a high temperature. So basically, in this system, first of all, we make a slip. Okay, we make a slip, and that over that slip, when it is made, then we will apply the molten glass. Okay, we will introduce the molten glass, and it will enter into the porous slip by the capillary action, and it will get stronger. So the strength of InSram is about 3 to 4 times greater than that of alumina core material. Okay, so the first material was alumina core material. Okay, the strength of alumina core material is 40% more than that of feldspathic porcelain. But now see in this material, this is the second material, which is called slip cast ceramics, or it also called InSram. So this InSram ceramic are more stronger than the aluminous core material. Okay, so now the two modified porcelain composition, that there are two types of this slip cast ceramic or InCeram, like we called it InCeram spinel or InCeram zirconia. So InCeram spinel, basically it is based on the magnesium oxide, so contains a magnesium spinel as a major crystalline phase, which improves the translucency of the final restoration. So the second type is InCeram zirconia, which contains zirconium oxide. Okay, So in ceram spinel, it contains magnesium oxide, but in ceram zirconia, it contains zirconium oxide. So zirconium oxide and is said to be provide high strength. So the material which having zirconium oxide is more stronger as compared to inceram spinner, which contains magnesium oxide. So marginal fit of inceram has been reported a very good or good, but also poor, which emphasize the technique sensitive of the process and need to select a skilled dental laboratory. So the only disadvantage for this material, sometimes they have discrepancy in the marginal fit. So you see in these pictures, slip cast restoration, how to make a slip cast ceramic crown. The first picture you see, we made a die, prepare a die. Over that die we will apply, use the second picture, we will apply the thin layer of the slip cast material. Okay, then we will put in this block and set the block into the furnace machine. In furnace there we will introduce a high temperature. So at that high temperature, the slip is formed. As you see in this picture, you see this slip is formed, thin slip is formed. Over that thin slip, now see in this picture, we will introduce a molten ceramic material. Okay, this molten ceramic material, so this slip, in this picture you see the slip, this slip is very porous, very thin. There is a tubules. So when we will apply the molten ceramic, it will goes into the capillaries of the thin slip material, as you see in this picture. So then again we will send it into the furnace where heat is produced, high temperature will introduced, and this process is called firing, and then it will convert it into a strong ceramic crown. And this ceramic with slip cast ceramic is more stronger than the aluminous core ceramic, which we will discuss, which we had discussed the first material. So now this is the third system, which is called heat pressed ceramics. Heat pressed ceramics. So there are two types: lucite reinforced or lithium disilicate based. So first of all, we discuss what is lucite based. So most heat pressed materials contains lucite as a major reinforcing crystalline phase dispersed in a glassy matrix. So the restorations are waxed, invested, and pressed in a manner somewhat similar to that of the metal casting. So this procedure is similar to that of metal casting. So first of all, what we will do, we will prepare tooth, then we will take final impression, then we send the impression into the dental laboratory. So dental laboratory pour the impression and made a dental cast. On that cast they made a die, then on that die they will do wax up. They made a crown in wax, then the wax up they sent it into the furnace where they will convert it into a metal core. Okay, so the same procedure we will follow in these ceramics. These are similar to that of, like, the restoration are waxed, invested, and pressed in a manner somewhat similar to that of metal casting. So the marginal adaptation seems to be better. So you now see this is the third system. The previous system we had discussed, like there's the disadvantage of the marginal fit of the crown in the slip cast ceramic material. So in this heat press ceramic, the marginal adaptation is more better than that of the slip cast ceramics. So the crystalline size varies from like 3 to 10 millimeter, and lucite content varies from about 35% to 50% by volume, depending on the material cooling. So the ceramic ingots pressed at a high temperature into a refractory mold made by a lost wax technique, and ingots are available in the different shades. So the two finishing techniques can be used, like characterization technique, surface stains only, or layering technique in which we will apply a porcelain material over there to make it more translucent. So the examples of this system is IPS Empress or optimal pressable ceramic, or low fusing materials like surpress and furnace. So this is the second type of the same material, heat press ceramic, is lithium silicate based. So first one is lucite based, this is lithium silicate based. So it is also called IPS Empress 2. The previous material is called IPS Empress, and this is called IPS Empress 2. So is an example of the second generation of a heat press dental ceramics. The major crystalline phase of the core material is lithium disilicate. The material is pressed at 920 centigrade and layered with a glass containing some dispersed apatite crystal. So the indication for second generation pressable dental ceramic include crowns and anterior 3-unit fixed dental prostheses. So in this picture, you see the heat press ceramic system. In the first picture, we will put it in the send it into the furnace. In this picture, lost wax technique, and it will convert it into the ceramic material. In this picture, you see we will finish the ceramic when it made. So we can also make the only ceramic restorations with this material you see in this picture. Now again another picture for the heat press ceramic system. Okay, the crowns which are highly aesthetic. So now comes the machined ceramic. So this is the fourth system. So in this system we will use the CAD CAM technology, which is called computer aided design or computer aided machining system for production of the machined inlays, onlays, veneers, crowns, lead to a development of new generation of ceramic that are machinable. So in machinable ceramic, there are different systems. Again, there are different systems available like CERIC system, like lava system. So first of all, we discuss the CERIC system. Like the equipment consists of a computer integrated imaging and milling system with the restoration designed onto the computer screen. So several materials can be used with this system like Vita Mark II, Procade, and Insram alumina and spinel. So Vita Mark II contains a feldspar as a major crystalline phase with a glassy matrix. So Procad is a lucite containing ceramic design for making machines restorations. So now see in this picture, this is the machinable ceramic. You see in the first picture, this is the machine in which the monitor is attached. So first of all, we've seen picture, we will take the digital impression. So digital impression would appear in this screen. Okay, so how we take the digital impression? They are optical scanners. So we will enter the optical scanner into the patient's mouth, and then we are keep it moving. So when we are keep it moving all around the teeth and the adjacent teeth and the surrounding structure, then it will take the impression which comes into on the screen, that is called digital impression. So now in third picture you see the digital impression is complete. So then we send this data into the milling machine, which is called computer aided machine. So now in this picture you see the ceramic material blocks available in square form or in the circular form, cylindrical form. So we will put a one block into the machine. You see in this machine, so it will carve and shape it like a crown. So these are the prepared block ceramic material which will introduce into the machine. So all data which you will receive from the patient's mouth through the optical scanner, which is called digital impression, according to that measurements, it will carve and shape it like a crown. This is called CAD CAM technology. CAD CAM means computer aided design and computer aided machining. See in this picture you see the core buildup is, you see in this picture, in the first picture, in this picture. Now 3-unit fixed partial denture core or framework is made through that blocks, ceramic block. So when it is made, then we will apply the porcelain. You see in the second picture, now in this porcelain is applied, 3 layers of porcelain by the conventional method: opaque porcelain, body porcelain, and the incisal porcelain. So the second type in this, the machined and the sintered ceramic, the extensive research in the field of zirconia ceramic and CAD-CAM technology has led to development of zirconia ceramic for dental restoration. So the material used is a tetragonal zirconia stabilized with a 3 mole percent yttrium oxide. So when we add the yttrium oxide, it will give strength to the ceramic material. So enlarged zirconia copings are machined from the pre-centered zirconia blocks to compensate for the centering shrinkage. So by this method, we will make the ceramic crowns. So this is the third type, which is called Procera Allsam. So first of all, we discussed the Seric system, then machinable sintered system. Now the Procera Allsam system. So in Procera Allsam system involve the industrial CAD/CAM process. So the die is mechanically scanned by the technician and data are sent to the workstation where an enlarged die is milled by a computer controlled milling machine. So these enlarged dies is necessary to compensate for the sintering shrinkage. So in this method, we will make a die which is larger, okay, than the normal to compensate for the sintered shrinkage. So aluminum oxide powder is then compacted onto the die and coping is made before sintering is at a high temperature. When coping is formed, over that we will apply the 3 layers of porcelain again by the conventional method. Now this is the fourth system in the CAD/CAM technology, which is called the lava system. In this lava system, CAD/CAM procedure is used for fabricating of zirconia frameworks and all ceramic restoration. So the preparation are scanned and framework are milled from pre-sintered zirconia blanks. The size of the framework is precisely increased to allow the shrinkage that occurs during sintering. So basically in lava system and in Procera system, we make a dies of the larger size to compensate for the sintered shrinkage. So the once the framework has been sintered, it is veneered by the 3 layers of porcelain by the conventional method to complete the crown. So again, you see some pictures. First picture, you see the CAD/CAM machine, which is computer aided design, computer aided machining. This is the digital impression, and we make the core buildup with the ceramic material. So in this picture, you see the machining. Machine is carved on the block, which will insert into the machine. And again, these blocks are carved and shaped into the crown or the bridge or fixed dental prosthesis. So now comes the metal reinforced system. So this is another system which is similar to that of metal ceramic system. So this system relies on different ways of creating a thin coping onto which ceramic is fired. So the strictest terms, therefore, the metal ceramic are opposed to the all ceramic crown. So again, the system is called Captex system. So basically, we make a ceramic crown. First of all, we will apply a thin platinum foil sheet over the prepared die. So in Captex system, the coping is produced from the two metal impregnated wax sheet that are adapted to the die and fired. Okay, as you see in this picture, this is metal impregnated metal strip. First of all, we will apply it all over the die of the prepared tooth. So the first sheet forms a porous platinum, gold, platinum, palladium layer that is impregnated with 97% of gold. So then over that, we will apply the second sheet of this sheet, second sheet, metal impregnated sheet. Okay. So advantage of this system includes excellent aesthetic and marginal adaptation. You see in this picture, you this is the metal, this is the wax impregnated sheet, metal sheet. Over that, we will apply the ceramic. This is the ceramic material. So in these pictures, again, you see the different things. First of all, dye is prepared. Okay. Over that die, we take a metal impregnated sheet, 2 sheets. We will adapt 2 sheets over the prepared die. Over that prepared sheet, we will apply the ceramic layer. This is the ceramic layer. And then when we send it into the furnace, where we will introduce high temperature. At that high temperature, the process is called firing. Then crown is formed. You see in this picture, it's highly aesthetic. So now this is the important point, like how we select for all ceramic system. So what is the selection criteria? So the primary purpose in recommending all ceramic restoration is to achieve the best possible aesthetic result. Typically, this is at the risk of reduced restoration longevity because of the potential for fracture of ceramic material, and the restoration may have slightly inferior marginal adaptation than those of ceramic crown. So we will select the all ceramic system according to three important things like fracture resistance, aesthetics, and abrasiveness. So what are the uses of these ceramic system? Like we will made a porcelain label veneers, laminates, inlays, onlays, fixed partial dentures, foundation of restoration, and resin bond ceramic. So all these are the uses for all ceramic restorations. So thank you everyone. You are welcome to ask any question.